The regime at this drug rehab center in the Philippines is tough. But for some patients, it might be the only way to survive President Rodrigo Duterte's brutal anti-narcotics war. This man, a user and dealer of shabu or crystal meth, says he was captured in a police raid and spared only after he paid a bribe of almost $1,500 from his drugs earnings.
Isa po ako sa mapalad na binigyan ng pagkakataon dahil yung 15 po kaming magbabarkada na pare-pares kami nagbebenta ng pinagbabawal na droga o drugs. Nagbebenta po kami ng shabu sa labas. Bali po ngayon, 3 na lang po kaming buhay. Ang 12 po patay na po dahil sila po ay biktima ng summary seclusion o extrajudicial killing.
People have flocked to rehab programs like this since Mr. Duterte took power in June with a promise to kill 100,000 criminals and turn them into fish food. Parents are desperately registering their kids to keep them alive.
Now there's this element of fear. You can note from their point of view that they're afraid that their children might be caught in this mess. Especially now, well, we know drug addicts get killed.
More than 5,000 people have died so far in a drugs war largely being waged at night in deprived areas, leaving life elsewhere unnervingly untouched. This woman says her husband was one of those killed.
Nung gabing yun, natutulog na yung asawa ko, pumunta yung mga pulis sa bahay namin, inakyat nila yung asawa ko sa taas, pinagbabaril nila. Kinaladkad yung anak ko, sumunod na din ako, kinaladkad kami palabas ng bahay. Nung nakalabas kami ng bahay, nakarinig pa kami ng putok ng baril. Alam ko naman na sa panahon ni Duterte, hindi namin makakamit yung hustisya. Kasi hindi naman war on drugs yung nangyayari, war on poor. Mas pinapatay nila yung mga mahihirap kaysa dun sa mga dapat na malaking tao na dapat kinukulong at pinaparusahan nila.
Fear is pervasive. Activists say police are acting on kill lists drawn up arbitrarily by local authorities. You may be targeted without knowing that you have been accused. By whom or why?
A lot of the people who were slain, especially in their homes, were allegedly because the police have to visit them because their names are on a list. Now, these lists have not been done through a judicial process. Let's not forget, the president himself mentioned people in nationwide TV, mentioned people on certain lists of his own, and it turned out some of the people in the list were already dead.
More than half the killings are by vigilantes or other unofficial forces. Doctors and activists say many of those who have died are drug users who needed help.
It is important that the government should have a very strong anti-drug campaign, and I agree with it. However, the so-called extrajudicial killings is just taking it too much. You don't treat a disorder by killing your patients.
But rehab is time-consuming, expensive and oversubscribed. And even those who complete the courses cannot be sure of survival. Authorities point to the popularity of the drug crackdown and say the police only kill in self-defense.
Even if they do earn the certificate that they have finished the rehab program, this isn't a 100% guarantee that when they step out of the hospital door that they won't be shot on the head by the police or any other people involved in drugs.
Patients know they are safe inside the walls of this rehab center and others like it. But once outside, they could easily end up dead. Another statistic in Mr. Duterte's lethal campaign. Michael Peel, Financial Times, Manila.